thought about the other day is the fact that I made a blog post with some New Year's resolutions on it for 2020. And now looking back, that couldn't be more hilarious because we are literally in the middle of a pandemic, the world is burning, everyone's dying, and it's not ideal basically. So I thought maybe it'd be an interesting video, maybe not, maybe nobody cares, for me to go back to this blog post, react to some of the resolutions that I made and goals I set for myself, and basically just see whether I actually managed to achieve any of them, whether I'm going to have to write some of them off based on the current circumstances. Maybe you're not feeling super productive, and maybe that's because you're not able to do the stuff that you had planned for yourself, maybe cancel special events. That's a baby. I've got my blog post up here on the laptop and you see me like looking at something else. So the first goal I put down for myself is growing my hair. That would have been a lot easier before I actually bleached it. Stuff that made my hair really damaged was bleaching it over and over, dyeing it red, purple, pink, constantly straightening and curling. I can't stop straightening, I just have really naturally curly, frizzy hair, which makes it like so hard. Just leave natural. The reason I abandoned giving my hair a break this year, going the whole 12 months without dyeing it or bleaching it or chemical treatments to it, it's pretty much because of lockdown. I thought to myself, I'm not going to be able to do this any other time, or I don't actually have to go into public, to work in an office environment with crazy orange hair or crazy bright hair or a crazy coloured hair. I was really bored of it being that really dark colour. I love being blonde, I think I look so much better blonde. That's why I've decided to just fuck it all and bleach my hair anyway. Okay, so the next one, practicing gratitude. I've heard like numerous scientific studies that this can actually help with depression, just general mood, dissatisfaction in life, just to take a minute each day and note down like 3 things that we're grateful for. And this started off quite well at the start of the year. I would say I did download some apps. I think one was called Grateful or something like that. I'll link it. That did work well for a while. Then I found after time it becomes more of a chore, and once something starts to feel like a chore, I don't want to do it. It's literally so easy. I could just pick up my phone, jot down 3 little things, but sometimes I find doing that excessively kind of forces you to try and be happy about every little thing, even if you're going through a hard time. That's not always realistic. Yes, I do want to go back into that, but at the same time I'm not putting too much pressure on myself, especially with the current circumstances. I think it is important for us to think about the little things, since we maybe took a lot for granted before, like being able to see our families, being able to go out, being able to travel, lots of stuff that we could be thankful for that we already have within us. Maybe it's the people that we're able to live with, maybe it's the fact that we're in good health, little things like that that maybe a lot of people might be overlooking and only looking at the negatives of the situation, which is definitely easy to do. But maybe just go a bit easy on yourself. What would you consider a productive day? Maybe you just got out of bed that day, maybe you had a shower. It doesn't have to look like everyone else doing these home workouts online. Productivity and basically happiness is different for everyone, it's subjective, so that would be my take on that, definitely. So this next one should have been a lot easier, considering that we are at home all the time and we all have like a lot of free time on our hands at the moment. I wanted to get to writing and reading again. I used to read books, like a few books a year at least. That just doesn't seem to be a thing for me anymore, and I think that is to do with the attention span thing. Now that we have phones and social media, it's so easy to just read on your timeline instead or check out Twitter. And I think because I have some of the goals that I'm already working towards, I don't feel as much pressure on myself to just force myself to keep writing on my blog, read books that I've abandoned. If it does get to a point where I'm possibly bored and looking for other things to do, then yeah, sure. It's just not something that I enjoy as much as I used to. I think that's just because the format of everything has changed. Not many people are reading blogs anymore. If we read stuff, it's usually just very quick, and it's hard to grab people's attention spans like that. Hence why I'm actually doing a video at the moment, since people seem to prefer videos. I have no idea if I'm going to keep this up, like whether it's going to feel right for me, but I'm giving it a go anyway, because what's the harm? I have nothing to lose. So the next one is establish a solid skincare routine. You might be able to tell looking at my current skin at the moment, I suffer from acne. And I would say actually since the start of lockdown, it's been worse than it was before. My skin has just been breaking out constantly. So this one I haven't got around to yet, but that's still high up on my list for the rest of the year, because I'm 27 in October and I can't have skin like this anymore. I think it's unacceptable. If anyone has tips, please tell me. I do not have a clue about skincare. I love makeup, but it looks awful when I'm putting it on a bad base of skin. People during lockdown have said this same thing, that their skin is awful at the moment. So maybe I'm not learning that. Maybe just because we're spending so much more time indoors and not really being healthy or sticking to healthy habits. The next one, save money, was this goal. Everyone who knows me will know that I am terrible with money. I'm really bad at saving it, very good at spending it. Basically, the gist of this section of the blog post was that I just don't know how to save money, and I've been in my overdraft since I left university. So far, because we're not able to go out for drinks or go out for meals out, I have actually been able to save money. What I do need to do is make sure I actually put some into my savings every month, which I still don't do as often as I should. But maybe that's what I need to do. I need to actually have something in mind that I need to save up towards. So again, if you have any suggestions or tips regarding financial stuff and how I can generally just be better at budgeting, let me know. Oh, okay. Basically, I wanted to study philosophy after watching a series called The Good Place. It's basically about the afterlife, if there is one. And the idea is that the more good acts you do on earth, the more you're basically paid off for it in the afterlife. It's kind of like the heaven and hell thing, but it's got a bit of a twist. I'd really recommend watching it if you haven't already. It's on Netflix. There's a lot of philosophy in it, and philosophy was something that I did nearly study whilst I was doing my A-levels, and it made me think, oh my god, you know what, I need to get reading about it. And that one also tied in with the fact that I want to read more. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to do loads of reading this year. I'm going to get a philosophy book. I'm going to read about all these major philosophers. So no, that isn't something I've actually done since. This one, see, invest in a good camera. I'd still really like to be able to do this. Frankly, I think that the fact I don't have one is actually kind of weird. Like, yeah, my iPhone takes decent enough pictures. I'm using it to record this video. It's not awful, but I think especially if I was going to keep on with the vlogs video, it would be a very good idea for me to invest in a good camera. But also for the blog anyway, like I used to do outfit of the day pictures and posts. I think that would be a really good thing for me to just finally have. Like, it should just be a necessity at this point, and it could really up my game in terms of content and also quality of photographs in general. I just have no idea about cameras. Does anybody has any clue? What kind of cameras are out there? What would be decent? Please let me know, because I haven't got a clue. I'm being lazy. I should just do the research. I shouldn't ask anyone else, but just until I actually get around to that. So, yes, this is the last one. To spend less time on my phone / on social media. I go into a bit more detail about my reasoning for this, and I did actually manage 30 days on and off without using social media. I think the longest I went was without it. It's about 2 weeks. It didn't really help at the time. First thing when I wake up in the morning, I didn't check my phone. I got up, I did something else. I found more productive ways to spend my time. It was good, but obviously you find that it's so easy to fall back into like Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. I just find that I'm constantly refreshing these things, and I'm sure loads of other people can relate to that. So that is still something I'm working on, especially I think with it being a coronavirus thing. I started doing other things with my time now, hence this video. But it's been sort of essential for everyone to sort of pick up on habits that they weren't doing previously. Maybe that's exercising more, maybe it's started taking up running again. Like, I went cycling the other day, which I haven't done in years, and I nearly forgot how to ride a bike. I've actually found that I'm working out more now I'm at home than when I was able to go to a physical office. I got back the same day, I was like, nah, I'm pumped. Like, I can't. I do have those time limits things on my iPhone, but they don't work very well because you can just ignore them. I just click ignore for 15 minutes or ignore the limit for today, and that's it. I know this video was a bit all over the place. It's all very new to me. If you have any suggestions of anything you want to see, let me know. Like, what resolutions did you have for the year? What have you had to change or adapt to? Have you just completely abandoned the ones that you had set out for yourself? One of the ones that I didn't actually have in this blog post was to travel more. I wanted to go to Canada this year and possibly see my family, but obviously now that's not gonna happen. Hopefully next year all of this will be over with. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay home, stay indoors, please. Social distance, please. And then this can all be over soon enough. Alright, thanks.